Go ahead.
Bum 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 bum. Hey,
What episode is it?
Episode 5.
it's
Episode
episode
five.
5. Who's
Nice.
doing the intro? Was it supposed to be me? I was just doing the intro song.
Your
Well,
intro song just derailed all of my train of thought.
Because it was so amazing.
Yeah, but-
we just got like 75 likes in 3 seconds.
Right? Super smashed.
Who's doing the intro?
I thought it was Patrick.
Yep.
All right.
Pat's turn.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. It's episode 5 of the Hammock Life. It's Monday. We are recording this right before all the local businesses are forced to close via state mandate. So prayers to everyone that's going to be home drinking their beer instead of here drinking their beer.
And hopefully most of those people can still work remotely, obviously. And hopefully this time flies by for everybody.
Yeah.
And hopefully they all still want beer and they keep coming and buying.
Yeah, keep going out to your local spots, package stores, restaurants, tip. I know I was driving around getting us some beers for this evening on Saturday, and I was...
You drove everywhere. This guy was a madman.
Yeah, I was all over. Oh, disc golf was involved.
Yeah.
But I went above and beyond on the tipping. Even I tip anyways, but I really tip this weekend.
Yeah.
And segue,
Yeah.
since Pat went around, what do we have drinking today, guys?
Yeah.
You know?
I gotta open mine up.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's beer it up.
We got a virtual cheers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Social distancing.
And
Beautiful.
Cheers.
Cheers,
all
gentlemen.
right. I got the draft option this time.
All right, Julian, what do you got?
I've got a Shabin X Bad Sons collaboration called
X.
Tin Roof. It's a Maibach lager. Pretty nice. I'm liking it.
Your Bach.
I'm
My
drinking-
My Bach.
I got the No Worries boned IPA. It's a Citra forward. Tastes delicious.
I'm drinking I can't talk
Lasting
already.
Bass.
One sip of this strong beer and I'm shot. Lasting Brass Monkey. It is a double milk stout with coffee and coconut.
Bill, remember that time you drank the beer and didn't put the label towards the camera whatsoever?
I was reading it.
If
I
I had
reading.
one of those little card thingies, I'd yell cut and make you do it again.
I was
Once we have our Zoom in here.
Yeah, once we have the
Man.
Zoom. And I am drinking Dennis Hill Estate Saison from Norbrook Farm Brewery, where I was playing disc golf on Saturday.
Oh, very nice.
Took the hike up there.
Yeah, and I like Saison.
Nice.
So I'm going to take another sip.
There we go.
Nice.
Cool.
Well, don't forget, guys, we'll have all the links below, but make sure you go check out these breweries and everybody else around the area.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hence part of the reason we're doing this.
Yep. Check out those links. Check out the breweries. Check out their hours. If you like what we're doing, subscribe to the video. Share it around.
There's
Remember, we're doing this to spread the love.
I'm going to throw a curveball into that.
I don't like
Uh-oh.
curveballs.
Along with subscribe, there's a little bell icon. And if you click that,
If you click the bell.
it will notify you on your phone when a new episode comes out.
It's true.
Well,
And
that's
Which,
neat
as of
feature.
right now, is every day.
Yep, that's the plan.
it's Monday. You're going to get ready for Tuesday.
All right, so we've been doing our hot takes all last week. We're still gonna do hot takes.
Yeah. New
But-
format,
but
right?
We're gonna try something a little different tonight.
Now, everybody's going to pretend that we have like a cool, even more cool setup where we zoomed in on Pat's face.
yeah,
Ultra zoom now.
Right now.
yeah. We
Pretend.
rearranged things, but Kevin forgot to remind me of that point before we rearranged things.
Pretend.
So instead of spinning the wheel, I have come in with a hot take ready to go that I'd like to discuss this evening.
Virtual wheel. Let's
Virtual
do it.
wheel. Click, 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 click on Pat. There we go. So, my hot take. I am a firm believer that in the growing brewery landscape, brewers are not putting enough low ABV beers in their tap rooms. I'm tired of walking into a tap room and looking at all the options, and there's 12 beers, and 8 of them are 7% or higher. I'm not talking 3% beer. I'm just thinking 5 or lower. Something that I can sit there and enjoy for an afternoon with my friends, and I can have a couple responsibly and not worry about driving home. I've been over the last year or so. I've traveled places where I've gone in, and it's like I can only have one beer here because all but one beer is like 8% or more. And I think it's a growing problem, partially created by the consumers that walk into a place and say, hey, just give me your highest ABV beer. And the brewers are starting to cater to that when they're losing out on a lot of versatility and keeping customers in the tap room longer. If I'm drinking 5% beers versus 8% beers, I can theoretically drink more and have the same effective alcohol on my body safely
Yeah, that's a good
and
point.
spend more
spend
money
more
with
money.
you. So why are you conforming to these guys that just want to walk in,
Right.
put down 3 of the highest ABV beers that they can find as quickly as possible,
3
and then go
wusses.
home?
They should drink 4.
You know, I'm tired of it, plain and simple.
And realize, people, this is a new format. We didn't know what he was gonna say.
Nope,
So
not at
just
all.
as you were aware, like, I mean, I think we inherently assumed you'd know that, but he's like, I got an idea, and I'm not gonna tell you guys.
Yeah.
So this is fresh in our ears right
And
now.
they may agree with me, they may not.
Yeah, even when it comes to the wheel, some of those suggestions that are on there are coming from you guys giving us ideas, and we're throwing them on there. So we might not know what's
Yeah.
on there.
We
But-
haven't memorized it. We just printed them, cut them, and threw them on there. So we have no
Exactly,
idea
yeah.
what's on there at this point.
There's no more dogs or kids. We already went through this.
Nope, no more.
I mean, I could have put a second one on there. Little dogs and little kids.
I'm sick of getting banned from the internet. No more dogs and kids.
All right. So is that your
That is my stance.
All
That
right.
there need to be
we
brewers
need
need
breweries to
focus.
focus on these because
lower
Pat
ABV.
wants low ABVs.
Absolutely, and I'm kind of a big deal. I
mean-
look like Charlie Day. I sometimes laugh like him, and that's how it goes.
And you're on the internet.
I am on the internet,
so
so
you're
yes,
pretty much the best.
yeah.
I'm on the same side as Pat on this one. And I think too, it also trickles over to bars and restaurants. But it's it's a snowball effect type of a problem because breweries are focused so much more on a lot of higher ABVs. From what I'm seeing, you also see that on draft lists when you go out to a bar. So I was out somewhere recently. I couldn't find a damn beer that I wanted because I didn't want an 8% beer. I wanted something 5% or lower to drink while I had dinner, and that was it. And I had a hard time picking something because everything was just super, super high ABV. It was tough.
You're wrong.
I am wrong.
Tell me why.
And I'm going to tell
Tell
you
me
why. Because the argument is that breweries are not making enough. But the demand from the customers, they're asking for the higher ABV stuff. You know, you make a true Berliner at 3.75 between that and 5%. And everybody's like, man, why is this so low? But that's true to style as far as the ABV is concerned. And people are just going to gawk at that. Where if you hit up a Berliner style or a sour ale and you make that at 6%, people are like, man, this is on point. I like it. People like the mouthfeel that comes with the higher ABV. So while the brewers may want to brew lower ABV, I feel like the customers are demanding the higher ABV. You
Well,
look
it
at the
doesn't-
doubles,
I'm
you
not-
see the
well, I'm not-
triples,
I'm not-
you see the
I'm not
quadruples,
saying-
you see the quintuples. We're going to hit the 10 dodeca IPA soon. It's going to happen because the people love it.
Well,
So-
I'm not saying necessarily you have to brew a 3.5% beer. I'm just saying something in like the 5 to 5.5% range.
I'm gonna disagree with Pat for a different reason than Kevin, and I'm gonna disagree
We're
because
teaming up on you.
I think that breweries have been at least over the last year or so have been making more lower ABV, easier to drink type of beers across all sorts of styles, be it from fruited Berliners that or gozas that come in right around the 5%.
I said fruit of Berliners.
Fruit of
It's new underwear. Fruit of Berliners.
Be a fun label.
I'd buy those.
Your underwear is sour, sir.
But
That sounds like a personal
I don't
problem.
like to wear underwear, but I would wear those.
But yes, we have fruited kettle sours. We have lagers were huge over the summer. All sorts of lower ABV styles, and then also if you take a look at, I know you said tap room specifically. I don't get a chance to go out to that many of them, unfortunately, but I do see a lot of lower ABV and lower cal stuff too out in the world on draft and in the package stores right now. So I do think that there are breweries out there that are taking heed of what you're saying.
Spot check.
Yeah, well, maybe it depends on where you're going too, because I'm on Pat's side of this debate more so because my personal experience, the places I've stopped more recently, whether it be brewery or restaurant, it's been a lot of high ABV stuff.
I mean, I see it.
Yeah, so
I mean-
spot check. What's the ABV of the beer you're currently drinking?
800,
6,
6.9.
I guess.
8.
It's 6%. Yeah.
5.4. 1 out of 4 under 5.5%. And I did not select these beers from the fridge. Bill did.
I did. I went beer shopping in the fridge.
It's true.
Which is why I have a.
You went shop shopping, and then beer.
Which is
Bill
why
went
I
beer
have
shop.
the best beer here.
We all have the best beer here.
Damn it! I like saison better than stout. Sorry, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I get it. I think that sometimes too. I mean, people have to understand. Like, you may brew that lager, right? if you brew a lager and an IPA side by side, and it's just me from not even like here, but other places, you're probably selling that IPA at, even if it's 6.5% to a 7.5%, you're probably selling that 3-1.
Yeah.
People are definitely more passionate now about the lower ABV stuff, which is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I think that's great. Like, I love lagers. I love the lower personally, like if I'm going to drink it. But I think you also have to brew what people are asking for. We're passionate about what we do, but we also want people to accept what we're trying to do. So you're taking that feedback from your customers as well.
That's true. Yeah.
To counteract that, you're going to sell an IPA 3 times as fast. The lager can last in your cold room 3 times as long.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's
It's essentially it's the same amount of time.
Trust me, we do both. I mean, I'm a fan of it all. So I mean, realistically, here, and most people know us, like we offer 3 year-round beers that are sub 5.5 or lower. I mean, just that's how we roll. But we also have the Do-Si-Do, and we always have the rotational IPA. So we offer the gamut. But I would say that you're brewing the IPAs, 9 times out of 10, just because that's what people are looking for. I mean, it is what it is. It's the beast we're in. I think that if you ever talk to any real brewer,
None of us are that.
that's what I mean. They're not talking to me. I think when you talk to those folks, you're gonna see like they're passionate about a lot of styles. It's not just one, and a lot of times you might be bored of the style you worked really hard to perfect and make better. You might get bored of making that beer, only because you're on autopilot. You're like, all right, I gotta do the grain, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and you're like, okay. But when you make a new beer, something else, you actually challenge yourself a little bit. You're a little bit more engaged. So I don't know if ABV necessarily, I'm getting away from the subject here, but I think people are passionate about all of them. So I don't think that necessarily they want to necessarily brew one style over the other. But at the end of the day, if you have a style that's selling 3-1, 4-1, you're going to brew that more often just because that's what's going quicker.
All right. Well, here's a question from the logistical standpoint.
Logistics.
Of 5.2% beer versus an 8.2% beer.
Mm-hmm.
How much of a price difference is it per pint?
It depends on the beer. I mean, hops are the cost for most things. So if you're talking like a session IPA or pale ale versus a regular, the cost is about the same.
Pricing wise, you're often pricing based more on the ABV.
Yeah, I mean, it's not unfair. I mean, I think just a lot of things come to account, like what type of yeast you're using. Because a lot of us, if you use your house yeast, it's going to be cheaper. But a lot of times hops are really your driver a lot of times in this market. If you're doing a lighter beer with not that many hops or not a unique hop, if we did even flow with crystal hops rather than Matueka from New Zealand, it would be a cheaper beer. But at the same point, we want the flavor profile. So price doesn't necessarily guide what you're doing because you're trying to be creative. You're trying to get the most flavors, and as long as it's available for you at a not like Nelson is insane.
Where I was trying to get to with my line of questioning, which I clearly should not be a lawyer because I won't get there.
Hi, my name's Matt. That's how you lawyer voice.
From the brewery perspective, what would be more financially beneficial for someone to come in and drink 3 or 4 of the lower ABV beers in one day, or 2 of the higher ABV?
I think
beers?
it's about the same. I mean.
As
long as everybody's being safe, either Ubering or not driving, then I think it's the same. It doesn't really. I mean, you're not looking to, if you sell 5 beers, realistically, you're probably making around the same amount of money. You're not looking at that. I mean, I know I don't really look at it that way. I'm looking at it more of a, we sold a keg. As far as volume's concerned, that's where I'm happy with it. I'm like, I made 15 cents more this keg versus that keg.
All right, so there goes that whole stream of questioning out the window. Objection.
Well, let me go check my spreadsheet, lawyer. I got like a weird gangster thing going on
from the 20s. That was weird.
See?
Regardless, though, I'd still like to see more versatility in people's tap lists, though, whether it's bars or breweries. I like.
I will say, summertime they seem to come out a little more. Wintertime they kind of dry up a little bit. And that's kind of where we're coming out of the wintertime now, so this thought is fresh in my head.
Wintertime.
Yeah, that was a subjective statement.
Patrick, it snowed today.
Are we coming out of stout season, if you will?
It's never stout season. Ironically, I mentioned Tom like 3 minutes ago, and then 12 seconds later he texted me.
You knew. He's like,
no, it was about something else, but
sure.
He wants to do another T-shirt.
Oh, if he uses that, oh, never mind. We'll talk about this another time.
Yeah, he made a new picture. He sent it to me.
That font,
Kevin's really critical.
I
about
gotta go
fonts.
and go. Like,
Kevin
Kevin
is a font
whore.
Nazi.
Yeah.
I like to be called a font whore.
All right,
That's more appropriate.
that's fair. And he-
Because when you mesh two terrible fonts together, you may.
Dude,
Murdered.
there was one time Kevin and I were out at a little restaurant that's not open
I
anymore.
love this aside. Yeah, you wonder why.
Yeah, it was all their font. Dude, 3 weeks after we were there, he was still bitching about their font. He was like, "Hey, remember that time we went to that place? Man, their font was fucking horrible."
It was not good.
Bill is very passionate about this because I almost had to turn his microphone down.
Microphone check.
I was trying to talk loud like Kevin.
Yeah,
Kevin
it wasn't working. All right, circling back. Any closing thoughts on my argument for or against lower ABV beers?
My
and
argument as a closure is I think people will brew what is demanded. Although we also are brewing as a passionate individual, and you're going to make those brews yours. Hopefully. I mean, that's what most of us are doing, if not everybody in Connecticut. You're going to make those yours. But at the same point, like, if your flagship, your number one beer being purchased is a triple versus a session, you're going to brew more of it just because that's what it is. So I don't think it's necessarily like you want to make people passionate about a lager. You might have that on year round. It may not sell as much. You know what I mean? So I think that's why you're seeing, personally, I think that's why you see more of those. Just logistics.
And I mean, for me, I like both low and high ABV, but I just, in general, would like to see more versatility all around from both bars and breweries. Just give me more variety, but I might be in the minority on that. I like variety.
Everybody see my sweet microphone, by the way?
Yeah.
It's a sweet sound. I would say, I guess. Oh no, I had a train of thought. Let me see if I can. Get it
Oh,
back
Julian
here.
forgot what you were going to say?
Crap.
Choo choo.
Oh, I so had it too. Oh, here it goes. Okay, so like I said, I think plenty of breweries are out there making some great lower ABV beers. I think there's some good options out there. But all that being said, if you are going to make a lower ABV beer, do not call it a session, or nobody will buy it.
This guy always comes with the weird sales twists.
Yeah. I thought we were gonna make it the whole episode. We were so close.
Like, Julian will not buy your session, but if you call it a pale ale, he's in.
Exactly. That is what I said.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, we
Good-
crushed this, I
Good.
think.
I like
Almost like a session IPA.
on a slightly related note, all you pale ale consumers and homebrewers out there, Sierra Nevada actually re-released their originally recipe today for Sierra Nevada Pale Ale
Oh, that's cool.
in like a homebrew size on their website.
Nice.
So if you're stuck at home and homebrew and you want something to do,
As long as they can
grab
deliver
some
to
local
you.
brews and then go brew some.
Yeah,
some
it's cool.
homebrew.
That's a damn solid beer all around too. It's just such a staple.
Throwback.
Yeah.
And, yeah, if you see it in a
Such a
cooler,
great
or
go-to.
you know what I mean, like,
I don't think I've ever said no to a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
yeah, a lot of times too, if there's like basically a macro selection, they usually have that on bottles.
Yeah, you see that glimmering in the corner of the cooler. I'll take that.
Glimmer, the green and yellow, like, yeah. That's glimmering, by the way.
All right.
Cool.
Well, thanks for hanging out, guys.
Yeah, don't
Thanks.
forget,
Yeah.
check the beers in the link below, or the description, I guess. Their links will be next to them.
Yep.
Go on their Facebook page. Most of these guys are open for to-go sales. A lot of them are included now. Their online sites
Well,
as well.
I know they're all open for to-go sales because I literally stopped at all three.
Well,
of
I
these
meant
places.
like depending on the day of the week, I guess
Yeah.
is what I meant. And a lot of people are also like you can order online and then pick up curbside stuff like that too. So check it out. I'm sure you guys already have been if you're watching this, but just sort of a reminder, sharing the love with everybody.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm good.
And
Cheers.
Cheers.
No.
And keep living that hammock life.